Exactly 50 years ago, Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, died in Romania. He was buried in Nkroful in the western region, and later his remains were transferred to the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum. While his political party, the Convention People's Party, say he was not given a befitting funeral, so they will organize one for him 50 years on. There's more in the following report.
On 24th February 1966, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown by military rule and he lived in exile in Guinea and subsequently died in Romania on 27th April 1972. His body was brought home and now buried at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum in Accra. 50 years after his death, the Convention People's Party says that the former president did not receive a befitting funeral and therefore will organize one. The General Secretary of the party, Nana Yar'Adua, was addressing the media at the Kwame Nkrumah Mausoleum to commemorate 50 years of his demise.
Today, as we celebrate 50 years of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's death, we also remember his dark days in exile in Guinea, the cold and lonely nights on his hospital bed in Bucharest, Romania. God only knows what was going on through his mind. Perhaps his wonder was, am I going to get a befitting burial when the Lord calls me? A befitting burial he did not get. A restless soul which needs to rest is the bane of Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It is on this premise that the Convention People's Party and like-minded people in the diaspora on the African continent would organize a befitting funeral for Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of the Republic of Ghana and the doyen of Pan-Africanist movement in the world. Yes, a man with an indelible legacy who was misunderstood during his time. This event will take place in November 2022, and in no time, the Convention People's Party will bring out the timetable of activities that will culminate into the actual funeral and also inaugurate a funeral committee in due course.
The party has also called on the government to return its assets, which were seized during Nkrumah's overthrow in 1966, since they were acquired from the contributions by members of the CPP and not the state.
On this occasion, we want to reiterate our request for the return of our assets of the CPP as a move to deepen comradeship and promote reparation. Your Excellency, it will be worthwhile to return to us the Information Ministry building and the Ghana Fire Service headquarters, among many others. Your Excellency, we hope you will oblige us this request. Let us all at the CPP imbibe the tenets of democracy, rule of law, freedom and justice, while resisting the rule of the oppressor.
Chairman of the Disciplinary Committee of the CPP, Bright Akwete, expressed dissatisfaction that the day had gone unnoticed. He urged African leaders to focus on economic and mental decolonization to help develop Africa.
I expected Ghana to celebrate this day with pomp and pageantry, but it did not happen because we know all sorts of subtle attempts have been made to obliterate the name of Nkrumah from the history books. It will not fly. Our presence here today shows that Nkrumah never dies. You can do anything to obliterate the name, but it will not be robbed. It will stay as it has stayed from the beginning. The African struggle is not ended. We have been engaged in all sorts of ways to liberate Africa. But the struggle is not over. African leaders need to concentrate on economic decolonization and mental decolonization to promote the African Forward March. We don't have time for destructive things now, things that distract us from the goal now. We are focused on liberating Africa totally. But the high mountain we have to climb is mental decolonization and economic decolonization, and we are committed to that. Kwame Nkrumah will be sad if at the end of the day he sees that Africa is still mentally colonized and economically colonized. We know that anybody who wants to bring the idea of Pan-African unity is removed from office. If you try it, you will be removed from office. But we are committed to it because Africa must be fully liberated financially, politically, economically, for us to feel indeed liberated.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah remains a towering figure in African history. Tasha Michelle's report for Joy News.
And so what do you make of the CPP's request to have a befitting funeral for Ghana's first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, 50 years after his death? Go onto our Facebook page and share your thoughts with us. You're watching Joy News Prime with me, Ernest Mino.